This is a sad video. I've just spent 3 weeks, 3 Mondays, with 4 delightful young people. Jessica, Meg, and 2 guys. And we did some problems, we did some tips, and we talked a little bit about what it's like to be in a classroom where their goals are number one. I tried to get them to talk about what they really wanted. And this is a book that I hope that they will study. Virtually anything written by Malcolm Gladwell is now in the consciousness of a lot of adults who earn money or who have to make decisions like, will you get into college or not, into this particular college? And so if you can mention the tipping point, blink, and outliers, plus 1 or 2 stories that you learn from these, you will get closer. Now, if you're interested in theories like, why does Steve do the things he does? It's because I've actually visited 2 of these schools. One's called High Tech High, the second one's called the Met. And you can visit Providence, Rhode Island, Met, put that into YouTube, and High Tech High, excellent. HTH video has some things. If you have a chance, learn about this guy, Feynman. He, just a remarkable man. Teaching as a subversive activity and teaching as a conserving activity. Okay? Same guy, Neil Postman. He's dead, but his ideas live on. One of the big things that he suggested, besides strategies for survival, he has an interesting appendix, somewhere in the back. He wants to ask teachers to kind of sit down with students. Just sit down with students. Try to avoid telling your students any answers, if only for a few days or lessons. Do not prepare a lesson plan. Instead, confront your students with some sort of problem that might interest them. Okay? Then allow them to work the problem through without your advice, and your talk should consist of questions directed to particular students based on remarks made by those students. And if a student asks you a question, tell them you don't know the answer, even if you do. Don't be frightened by the long stretches of silence that might occur. So, very useful book. The second one is this teaching as a conserving activity. I think it's very useful for students to look at what it's like to be a teacher and to see what's going on. School is a curriculum way of training the mind and character. They're generally acknowledged to have curriculums, right? Everything about a school has an effect in shaping the young. Sometimes these conditions are referred to as the hidden curriculum. So part of the backlash against schools right now, schools like this, is that they are creating a different environment. So what I aim to show you by giving interesting books for you to look at, Freakonomics, interesting stuff. A rogue economist explores the hidden side of everything. Oh, it's fascinating. Interesting things, such as the hidden side of everything. Where have all the criminals gone? He sort of looks at things. What makes a perfect parent? Oh, fascinating stuff. There are 2 paths to Harvard. That's what I want you to remember. There's the traditional way of getting acceptance, following what the what the advice people give you. And then there's another way. Remember that a college application process is selecting people for a campus. And what they want to do is find people that will work well together, someone who will participate in the life of the campus. And I'm looking for someone who will contribute something to the campus, not just be a egghead or not just be an athlete, somebody who will bring something to the campus. I'm not saying that they're well-rounded, I mean that they are passionate. So, to all my students, develop that passion. Find out what you really love. Make a book. Go on to scribed.com and place your book up there. Talk about it on YouTube. Put that video on Facebook. Link all of those sites to a website, which is free, and send me the links so I can get my students to click on them and add clicks so that you get raised in the Google rank. And visit the campus that you want to see. Sneak in on classes. Sit in on campus activities. Shadow someone. Follow someone around. Ask them, what's it like to be on campus? Find a freshman. Find a sophomore. Make friends with someone. Take the time to integrate in the campus. Really find out if that's a place you want to be. Yeah, you can get into a Princeton or a Yale, Stanford. And maybe Haverford, Swarthmore. A smaller school is better suited for you. It's not where you went, it's what happened when you were there. So I look forward to your comments, and I hope that you will admit that teaching one kid at a time is really the best way to teach. I hope you have felt that you are getting what you needed from this video. And as always, I think it's a good exercise to look at the world from different perspectives and learn something about the world. Ask me to connect you to people in other countries so that you have email addresses, so that your Facebook page has contacts in other countries, so that you can connect with people and ask them for information. Thank you for your interest. And for people who don't know my email address, you can start by going to TLA Steve, that's where I teach, the Language Academy in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, at gmail.com. And if you go to that, you can email me and say, Steve, link me with one of your students. Put me on your Facebook. Here's my YouTube site. Please ask your students to click. Thank you for watching this video.